Hi, and welcome to our podcast where we're going to talk about Alfian Sa'at Parah, and I'm Ronan.
And I'm Aliel.
So, in short, the play Parah is a play revolving around four friends Melo, Hafiz, Kaho, and Mahesh, and it talks about the conflict that they have, which also revolves around a book, which is called Interlock. So, one of the issues or one of the central themes that we can see in the play itself is regarding censorship.
Hmm.
So, according to you, Aliel,
Mhm.
how can censorship portrayed or be pictured out in the play to the audience?
Hmm. Well, in particular, the censorship can be seen in the book Interlock, which the book itself talks about sensitive issues, especially derogatory terms towards foreigners, Malay, Indians, Chinese. So this use of derogatory terms is the cause of censorship, which later in the play revolve around.
Well, I think at the same time, because of these terms that is used in the book itself, it sparks a conflict not just between the four characters or but into a larger scale, which is among the teachers, which are among the principals, um, because we know that this book it mentions about the derogatory term, for example, like Parah,
Mm-hmm.
and how it affects the Indian students.
Mm-hmm.
Then, how would you think that? How should the teacher handle this issue?
Mm.
Like how should they handle the issue where students ask to ban this book because it mentions about the term that is
Terms.
used.
Yeah. Well, in my opinion, I do understand that a lot of people are sensitive towards these issues, but for me, banning the books itself, I don't think it's a good thing because I feel like it just hide the issue. It's like you have a problem and you just hide it under the carpet. The issue won't be solved. In fact, it can be much worse, especially with derogatory terms, something that is, I think, very generational, especially some words that I use like keling, paria. So, yeah, I think by just hiding it, just banning it, I don't think it's a quite good option. I think people need to study and have a discussion about these issues and okay, explain to the students why we should use this. Why is this bad? Talk about the history of it. Why some uh people are
Affected by it.
affected by it. Yeah. So yeah, that is my opinion. I think they should ban it. I think they should just go on, discuss about it, accept it is what it as it is, and yeah, just continue discussing about it. So okay, what do you think? What's your opinion?
But I think the issue of censorship in this play, when it revolves around what the students want to be censored, which is the term that is used to be degrade their race.
Mm-hmm.
But I do share the same view with you, which is to allow the book to be taught in schools.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is mainly because to acknowledge the sufferings or the events that has happened a long time ago,
Mm-hmm.
and like you said, a generational thing that's happening,
Yeah.
and like simply banning it wouldn't solve the issue in a larger scale.
Yeah. Yeah.
Therefore, I think that this book shouldn't really be banned. It can be banned
Mm-hmm.
on a proper basis.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the basis of letting the students understand
Mm-hmm.
the past, the nostalgia, the trauma that they experienced because of this term, even though it's something used from the past
From the
and
past,
from
yeah.
it till this day.
Yep.
I think it's important for them to acknowledge what happened
Yep.
and also to understand
Mm.
what can be used, why is it wrong,
Mm.
and what is wrong.
Yep.
Again, like for example,
Mm.
maybe in our class the other day, we heard Tessa
Mm.
saying that she doesn't even know that killing or
Yeah.
paria is a word that
Mm.
is derogatory,
Yeah.
and she thought that it's simply a word.
Mm. Even for my parent as well, unfortunately, they still use the word "keling" to when they see Indian people, and yeah, it is something generational, and I think for some people it's quite normal for them to use it. Yeah. So yeah, so from that we can also talk how the teacher uh, tackle this problem as played by Miss Junita, uh, about her role. What do you think about her? How she tackled these issues?
I think people would have different opinions about how she tackled the issue. I might understand her point of view, which is to follow the SOP,
Mm-hmm.
or which is to always refer to the higher ups whenever a conflict occur. But I like the response uh, from a group, from an assignment that Dr. Fiona has assigned us to do, which is an alternative scene
Mm-hmm.
on how Miss Junita should react or respond towards the incident that has happened.
Mm.
And I like how they mentioned that Miss Junita should acknowledge the students' feelings
Mm.
and explain to them why is it important for them to understand uh, the context of the books. Why is it used? And again, like for them to know what is wrong.
Mm.
Why is it wrong?
Is it wrong?
The why behind it is important.
Mm.
And to re-emphasize what I've said, not all people know about how bad this term would affect a
Right.
certain race.
Yeah.
Like we don't even know about how Keling, like, before I arrived KL, I don't even know how Keling affect the Indian people. I thought it's a common word because even in Hokkien,
Mm.
we describe Indians as Kelinga.
Mm.
Uh,
Interesting.
so it's something that we thought that is normalized.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't know.
Mm.
So if we ban this book, if we censor this book,
Mm.
we don't know what is wrong, why is it wrong,
Yeah.
and maybe in a way we would take light of this situation and continue to use this word.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Don't you
So
agree?
yeah, I agree with that. So as I pointed out earlier, how we shouldn't just hide the problem, just brush it off. Well, this is actually portrayed by Miss Junita herself. How she just reported to the higher up, to the principal, but never talk to the student, try to understand them. Instead, just brush it off. She said something like, okay, I don't know about this. I think I'm gonna pass it to the higher up, so we can see what they're gonna do. The which is it reflects our current society right now. I know she's trying to be professional, follow the rules, but I think that can be changed, because what's the wrong in just discussing about it with the students? You don't have to follow the SOP and all that. It's for the benefits for all. I think it's more beneficial for the students, well, generally for the people, because the students gonna come out from the school and become other people lah, the people in general. So yeah, I agree with you. And okay, so to move on, I think me and Ronan had a talk before. So we both have a different opinion on this one character, which is Malur. So in my opinion, I think Malur reflects a lot of people in Malaysia, that they try to understand these issues, but it's just they're not doing enough. For example, like Melo, when Hafiz tell Mahesh that he's killing Parya, she does get angry and told off Hafiz to not do it. But at the same time, there is one scene afterwards where Hafiz gets on her nerve, and Melo herself start telling Hafiz that maybe you're a pariah yourself, which is very contradictory on how Melo at first seen as the good, not good guy, just good girl trying to fix things. Which yeah, I don't think she's doing enough. What do you think?
Maybe I agree to you to a certain extent, but at the same time, we have to look at Melo in another way, that she is a person that observe her surroundings.
Mm.
Um, One thing I like about Alfian Sa'at play is he tries to reflect society a lot in Parah,
Mm.
how they respond to certain issues, and like Melo, I admire her way of responding to things, which is to observe and not be heated up in certain conflicts, and to understand. And as we know, she enjoys literature, and
Mhm.
probably she's one of the characters, aside from her mother, that has read the play, except for the 2 pages that is taught away.
Mm.
And I think she has a further understanding about interlock, the book interlock itself,
Mhm.
and hence why she didn't go ahead and like spark up any unnecessary conflicts.
Mm.
But I'm not trying to say that whatever Mahesh, Vignesh, and their friends fight for is not justified. It's justified.
Mhm.
But again, I think teachers play an important role, which is
Mhm.
to bring it, discuss it, and understand, acknowledge that it happened.
Mm. I
So
think
should we be like Mahesh? So we respond like Melo,
mm, that's quite interesting question.
or it's
I mean,
subjective
yeah,
according to what we feel?
I think it's a subjective thing because okay, so I remember, yeah, I can agree with you about Melo, yeah, about the 2 pages that torn. I think I can see that she is trying to understand why the word paria is bad. So okay, she's trying to ask her friend, so who tore this book, which shows that she does care. I can see that she does care. Which I agree with you. Yeah, I can. You just open up a new perspective for me. Yeah, yeah. Also, I think back to the question whether we should react like Mahesh, straightforward, or should we react like Melo, trying to understand, trying to reflect, and go it in a peaceful way. Yeah, I think it's up to the people. It's subjective because sometimes being straightforward does work, and sometimes being quiet, not quite quiet, but keep it calm also works. So it's up to the people.
Because either way,
Yeah.
it's also a way for the people to say something.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Because both ways does show what we feel about the issue. So yeah, I think that's quite an interesting discussion we had. Do you have any thoughts? Any other thoughts?
Well, I think that it is important for us, especially like using media
Mm.
as a platform to spread awareness about this issue as well. That's one
Mm.
thing is that not a lot of people know what is wrong. They know what it's wrong.
Yeah,
They don't know why is it wrong. And hence we go back again to the same cycle of censorship. Is censorship necessary for certain things? In this case, censorship of derogatory terms, or is censorship just trying to hide things that is real,
It's real. That's out
that
there.
is supposed to be acknowledged?
Yes. Mm.
And how should we respond?
Mm.
How should we respond as people? I guess it's important to also voice out your dissatisfaction toward the system in a proper way.
Mm.
Because if you don't do it, then generations would suffer.
Yeah.
Don't you
If
agree?
I agree, if we don't start now, then when it will, it has to start now, because we're trying to talk about the next generation. Next generation. We are the next generation. Past is the past, right? So yeah, and from that, I think we're gonna end it there, and I hope our discussion here can broaden up you guys' perspective, how you guys can look at things differently, especially towards education system, censorship, and in general, just sensitive issues. So I think that's all from me and Ronan. I think stay tuned for our next podcast, maybe.
Maybe
Maybe. Yeah.
next semester,
Yeah. We will see.
next month.
Oh my. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
So
Right.
goodbye for now.
Yeah. Goodbye.
See you in the next one.
Right. Thank you. Bye.